Boom. Okay, so I have hit record. Hello, and welcome to the Rock and Roll Podcast. I'm your host, John Harris, and today on the Rock and Roll Podcast, we're being joined by Adrien and Chris of AVALAND, who are going to share some sorcery secrets. They have a beautiful new album that's coming out called Theater of Sorcery on April 2nd, 2021 via Rockshots Records. And yeah, so let's chat about this album. So boys, number one, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Absolutely great to have you on. Now, one of the things you guys had mentioned, and I have to remember to speak slower, but first interview in English. So
yeah, right. Very first one.
Tell us about that. What is it like going from having this record not even done to now you're chatting with somebody in English for the first time in Canada?
It feels exciting. It was. We were at so much miles from this, and now our production is becoming a mondial production. So that's pretty exciting, and that's awful too.
Yeah, that's a little bit scary sometimes, but never mind. It's okay.
We have to do this, and we are so happy to do this.
Yeah,
and the way it comes, and so.
Okay, perfect. And then the other thing you guys mentioned was we have Chris here, who, to my understanding, is the important guitar player.
I don't know if I am the important one, but I'm one of the two guitarists. So
he's the present.
That's my
one.
job.
I'm
the present one.
Well,
the special one, the more beautiful one.
Well, yeah. I mean, come on, Lucas, get with the program. Is one of you like the lead guitar player and the other one the rhythm guitar player?
No, not really. We are both rhythmic and guitar player and lead guitar players.
Okay.
I did some solos. Luca did some others. There is no real lead guitarist in AVALAND.
Okay. Because I was curious after I'd heard the record, especially because it's called the Metal Opera, how you guys orchestrated the whole thing with like a traditional metal setup, two guitars, bass, drums. Sorry?
Yeah, when I created AVALAND, I was alone with my music and with myself. It was so sad, and to be more happier, and to bring this project where he is it now. I decided to call some of the musicians I know in my life. Then I called Chris,
and then it became fabulous.
So Chris is like my brother. He's my best friend. We live in the same flat, so it was obvious to call him in the project. I also called Lucas, who is one of the best guitarists I know in my family, friends, and I also know my bassist Camille because he went from my other past band named Isery, a little band. We just made an EP. And for Leo, we know him in the metal sphere of Grenoble, where we live in France. Mm-hmm. And then when we were all together, I show us the music I composed, and they arrange all the members arrange it to bring some spices and to bring their own emotions in the project. And then we were with the first roster of AVALAND. And there were another part of the orchestration of all of this that was to call the guests. So we called some local guests, like for example Emmanuel Son, who sings in the band Rising Steel. Mm-hmm. And the more scary thing was to call the big guest as Ralph Shippers from Primal Fear, mm-hmm. Zach Stevens from Sabotage, TSO. And Zaya Zorgati from Mirat. It was very scary, but I'm so happy they're in the project now, and it was a crazy thing.
How did you get the chance to to reach out to, say, for example, Ralph from Primal Fear, do you know him already, or was that just like a shot in the dark, just an email that you sent?
I just met him in a concert in Grenoble when he played with Primal Fear, but the principal act was to send an email, of course, and I just showed my ambition and the music I composed, and he answered, "Okay, I like it. I will go on your project."
Okay, what was that like to have him just say yes?
Crazy. The first one who said yes into the big yes was Zach Stevens. It was especially for Chris' birthday.
That was my birthday gift.
We were at the bar, and while drinking some beer, I just received an email, and Zach Stevens answered, "Yes, I go on your project." And that's fucking crazy. You can't realize until you do. I really realized when Zach sent me the vocals he made. Was just like a child meeting Santa Claus. It's not true. It's hard to think it's real when it comes.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Now, something you mentioned there, Adrien, was you were in a bar having beer. So this had to have been a while ago. How long has this record been in production?
Very long. The very first songs were composed 5 years ago, and the lastest maybe 2 years ago. It's the Gypsum Flower, the longest song of the album, is the last one I composed for this album. And we first record a first version of the album, but we find that it was not with the quality that Ralph and Zach Stevens showed with their vocals, for example. So we decided to make it again to increase the quality of the album. I made new orchestrations, and Luca and Chris brought new guitar lines, a little more death melodic death riffing.
That's part example of Luca's job, and he made some solos. I made some other one. So
we also let Camille play a more complete kind of bass lines. Mm-hmm. And for example, on the song "Holy Kingdom of Fools," he made a great slap, and that's fucking crazy. And then we really all of the bands, all of the bodies increased the level of the quality, and then we arrived today with this album finished and ready to be released.
Mm-hmm.
But it was long. It was really long.
Okay, cool. But I mean, worth it. And you mentioned Camille. It also says here that he plays a double bass. So he's actually playing.
Yeah. He played double bass on the ballad of the album, "I'll Be Ready for Your Love," and Camille comes from jazz, so it will like go back to his roots to put some double bass in the album.
Okay.
And maybe on the second album he will put a little more double bass.
Yeah.
Which was really interesting.
Yeah. Maybe get him to do some cello too.
Cello maybe.
Maybe more on the third one.
Oh no, on the second one.
On the second?
There is maybe.
Oh yeah.
There is one song.
I forgot it.
There is one song I'd like to play some cello. Some real cello, not a VST cello.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Yeah. Cello. You guys mentioned a second album. Is there already another album in the works?
Yes, and we're gonna start to arrange it very soon. I just finished the very first versions. I just changed something that I found too weird today, because first one the first song I composed for the second album are from 2 years ago, so mm-hmm. I like to have sometimes to when I composed to think about it, to rearrange it, to put more, to put less, to make a good pre-prod before all the guys have the music and arrange it. So yes, the second album is already composed. I'm near from finishing the lyrics, and we hope we can record it in October, November.
Okay. Is it something that's going to be similar to the first album where you're mostly done and then you bring the guys in, or are the guys a little more active this time around?
Maybe a little more active, I think. Because now we really know each other as a family, so we really know what the other can do, and it's very symbiotic. We work this way, and now I'm not afraid of what they can do, so maybe they will be more active on the second one.
Okay, now going back to this album, the first album, where did I see that thing that I wanted to ask you? Okay, so this album, Theater of Sorcery, and I'm reading this out loud, presents the story of a young sorcerer who could bring the light back in the kingdom of Avaland, and he have to learn to control his powers. That's improper English, but that's okay. He has to learn to control his powers linked to the storm. So take us through this concept that I just read out loud. What is this album about, Theater of Sorcery?
It's a kind of an allegory.
Yeah.
Yes, an allegory.
Yeah. Allegory.
Behind the story, there's a kind of allegory of what I lived, being a teenager, and to write the music I wrote, and to know what I will have to do with this music. Like the music is the power of the young sorcerer, and he will have to learn to do with this power, with those powers. So it was a kind of it's related with what I live, but it just it's not a real philosophical tale. It's just the how to say it. How to say it?
Your words are too complicated.
too complicated. There is similarity with what I live.
Okay.
That's really philosophic.
Yeah, it's kind of your teenager's years transposed in heroic fantasy world.
Yeah. Yes. That's a good resume.
Mm-hmm. And I just looked up how to say allegory in French, and it's the same thing. Allegory.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. So evidently you guys got that word from us, so. Just kidding. We all know it went the other way around. Cool. So it must be a Latin word, allegory. Does it mean that? Yeah, it would mean the same thing. That's fantastic. Let's go to the etymology of the word allegory. But in the meantime, while I'm looking that up, something else you mentioned, Adrien, was that the last song on the album that you wrote was actually track number 2, Gypsum Flower.
Yeah.
So was the album already, like the tone of the album already set, so you knew what to write, and Gypsum Flower was just a natural consequence? Or
it's very special for this first album because I had all my songs, but I did not know I did not know what to do with these songs, and I just realized that I have other songs to make a metal opera with a real story, but Gypsum Flower was not composed at this moment, and it just after listening to last Adagio album Life that I was like a revelation, and I just composed Gypsum Flower, and I like so much the song that I'd say to myself it's not possible to not put it into Avalanche. So because it's a song that presents a little the starting of the story, it is in the second position, but at the beginning it was not all placed. It wasn't built like this. But for the next albums, I've already all write on papers to make it more how to say. I forgot the word in French too. Or
so I can't help you.
All is written for the next albums and for the next stories.
Mm-hmm. Okay, what is the word in French that you were saying, or that you wanted to say?
I forgot it too.
Ah.
The black hole. No.
Tabernacle, which would be Canadian French, so you guys probably wouldn't know what tabernacle means. Cool. So allegory is a Greek word, and then it went into Latin, and then from Latin it went into Old French, and then from Old French it made its way into late Middle English.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
good to know.
Yeah. Isn't that exciting? Not as exciting as the Holy Kingdom of Fools. You mentioned there's some slap bass on that track.
Yeah.
Is it because you guys wanted to get funky, or were you guys looking for more of a, dare I say, new metal sound? Because Korn had that kind of.
It's just Camille.
He's just our bassist. He's a crazy guy. He's a guy listening to Polyphia, to Primus. He's also a great fan of Pastorius, and sometimes he made a little too much. But on the chorus of Holy Kingdom of Fools, that sounds so crazy, and the song is tells about some crazy things, like the people who just want to wear this kind of clothes because everybody wear this kind of clothes, just like this music because everybody like this kind of music. Mm-hmm. So they are the fools. So the kind of letting Camille play slap on the chorus was right with the message behind the song.
Yeah, I remember you wrote fundamentals note.
Yeah,
and it was like fundamentals. What is that shit? I'm gonna slap this.
Quarter notes just say no slap.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Camille. Now, I guess one of my other questions is, how did Rock Shots get involved in the process? Were you guys already signed while working on the record, or was the record then done and you went shopping, and then Rock Shots said yes?
Yeah, the
second answer. We ended the processes of creation of the album, mixed, mastered, and then we asked from bigger labels and smaller labels, and Rock Shots answered with a real positive message. So and we are very happy to be with Rock Shots. They are very good label. Mm-hmm. We're very happy to be with them.
Yeah, I would agree, and you can tell because I have a straight face. Cool. Okay, so we chatted about Theater of Sorcery, the album, recording, writing, getting some serious musicianship on the record. We chatted about first interview in English. We chatted about the etymology of the word allegory.
Allegory.
Yeah. We chatted about how Chris is the, dare I say, better of the two. I would say really the only guitar player, but...
No, Luca is far better than me.
He's just the sexier.
Yeah, I have
that. Cool. Now, that pretty much concludes my questions. I mean, we could get into the singles, Theater of Sorcery, Rise from the Ashes. Since the record is kind of a story, how did you guys end up picking singles to pull from it? Like, can we truly listen to singles and get an idea of the record?
I think that it doesn't reveal all the potential of the whole album. The single we chose were it was really hard to choose the singles first because all the people around it that listened to the album preferred one one different song. So it was hard to choose, and what decided to choose those singles for the 2 video clips. There is another video clip will be released with at the same time than the album, and it's on the song "Holy Kingdom of Foes." So you will see Camille slap the bass.
Slap at the bass, slap at the bass.
We chose the songs because it was more easy to call Emmanuelson on Theater of Sorcery and Jeff Kanji on the second video clip.
Yeah, and especially because of the pandemic.
Because of the pandemic, and because it was easy for us to come next to Grenoble and to create the video clips. For Rise from the Ashes, I decided to put it on single because it's the song with all the vocal guests, and there is a kind of Avenger feeling in the end of the song when everybody sings the chorus.
Yeah, brutal riffings, 2 solos. So
it was like this song is a kind of teaser of all the other songs of the album. So it was not that hard to choose this one to show the people what will be inside Theater of Sorcery. And we're gonna release in middle March 4th single named "Let the Wind Blow." Visualizer, and I just decided to put this one because it's one of the guys and me preferred in the album.
Yeah, because I made an amazing song.
And you made an amazing song. Sexy. So.
So humble, Chris. You're
yeah.
Very humble.
You're
I'm very humble.
We are French. Sorry.
Excuse me, I'm French.
We know French people are not that humble, so sorry, we are French.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm not.
Mm-hmm. You wouldn't be a good guitar player without your humility. Perfect. Okay. Well, then that concludes all of my questions, boys. Was there anything that you wanted to chat about that I did not bring up or ask?
Not especially. I don't have any ideas.
Me neither.
Okay.
No. So.
Okay, boys. Boom. How do you say okay in French? Just okay?
Just okay.
It depends. So sometimes we say okay, sometimes we say yes, sometimes we say je suis d'accord, but
sometimes we say go fuck yourself.
Whoa. Okay. I wonder how I say go fuck yourself in English.
We're not a good example because we use a lot of Anglicism in French, so Chris and me are not a good example.
D'accord.
D'accord, it's a good example of saying okay.
Beautiful. All right, well, boys, thank you so much for coming on to the Rock Metal Podcast today.
Thank you for your interest for the band, and hope we can make it again for the second album.
As long as it doesn't suck.
Don't worry.
Okay.
Always humble.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah. Well, then, if you guys are still working with Rock Shots, then I'll get it through the pipeline. And as long as it doesn't suck, then we'll have you on and we'll chat about the next album and more slap at the bass.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be.
Good. All
maybe
right.
slap on the double bass. And maybe slap on the double bass.
Slap on the double bass.
Slap on anything.
And slap on the drums.
Yes. Extra slap on the drums.
Slap everywhere.
Take your drum and slap it to the drum.
All right, boys. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.